All right, so I packed this moose out like 45 kilometers on my back so you could have a sample of a moose for this project. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we've got we have a moose sample here, and there's a difference in how we sample moose from how we sample deer.
That's right.
So we have an opportunity here. So tell me a little bit about this.
Okay, so on all of the animals, deer, elk, moose, we collect that specific lymph node at the back of the throat. But on deer, as a second sample, we collect the tonsils. On the elk, moose, and caribou, we collect part of the brainstem at the base of the skull.
Can you show me?
Called the obex.
Yeah.
Sure. So we're just gonna show here. So right here, we've got the base of the skull. So that first vertebrae would have been here, and that's been removed. And right in this opening here is where the spinal column comes in, and there's a little section where the spinal cord will actually, you got that?
Yeah.
Will actually split as it comes into the brain, and it's about the first like 2 or 3 inches of tissue here. And that split, that little V shape, is the tissue, specific tissue that we want. That's where the prions like to accumulate in these species, and that's why we target it.
Okay.
On this animal, the obex has already been removed. So it would have sat just right in this little cavity here.
Okay.
And it's very delicate tissue. It's that central nervous system tissue. It's the brainstem, essentially. So it's easy to locate, but you have to be kind of careful with how you're handling it. Unfortunately, when this was submitted, it didn't include the obex, so we weren't able to get a sample on this one.
Okay. So I have a couple questions. One is there still value in sampling this animal even if we don't have the obex attached?
Yes, we can still get that lymph node at the back of the throat here. And so we will collect that and submit that. But the lab likes both tissue types to be able to confirm the result.
Absolutely. Okay, and now do we have an opportunity to, can we take the obex out of one of the deer skulls to show people what that looks like?
Yes, we can do that.
Awesome, well, let's do that.
Okay. So we've already got the low jaw, which gave us all the samples we need for CWD testing, but it's an opportunity to show you how we would access that brainstem or obex sample if this was an elk or a moose.
Perfect, show me.
So we've got the first vertebrae here.
So that's the first vertebrae?
That's the first vertebrae.
Okay.
Right? And the tissue that we're looking for is going to be right at that junction, just inside the base of the skull.
Okay.
Now there's a bunch of tissue in here that's kind of holding it in. So what I'm going to do is angle my scalpel, or if you've got a sharp knife, that works too, and cut straight down to sort of release that
Nicely done.
tissue. Okay. And then easier to get in there. Perfect.
Okay, and as it starts pulling back, you get more stuff to cut.
There you go. Perfect. So that's great. You see that white tissue right there?
Okay.
That's the spinal cord.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's coming into the base of the skull here.
So that ties in with the brain.
That ties in with the brain. And as it comes into the brain, it splits. And that's the brain stem. And that's the section where it splits is what we're looking for. So as this tissue comes into the skull, there's lots of nerve connections. And so what I'm doing now with the scalpel, you could do this with the sharp knife, is just kind of going around and severing the nerve connections around so it will be easier to slide out.
There it goes.
There it goes. It's coming.
This is like a real operation. There it is.
Go.
Whoa.
There we go. And you see here how it splits.
Okay, yeah.
Just like a V.
Right there? Yeah,
see that
okay.
V right there? That's the section of tissue that we need. So again, on an elk or a moose, it's going to be quite a bit bigger. On a harvested animal, it'll be much cleaner. It's very pale in color, kind of like what we saw when we first opened it up. This tissue is really white.
Okay.
It's very delicate to handle. It's not like the lymph nodes and the tonsils are quite hardy. This is very delicate, so you don't want to be like squishing it around too much. Try and keep it, relatively safe and intact. Pop that into a Ziploc bag, just like we did with the other tissues, and keep that cool, or pop it in a freezer, and then that's perfect.
And along with the tonsils, or the lymph nodes, it's gonna go out?
That's right. If this was an elk or a moose, then the submission is the obex, this piece right here, plus the lymph nodes.
Okay.
And then that gives us the tissues we need for testing.
I can handle that.
All right.
All right.